We did an interview a few weeks back with Aaron Ott was part of it, and he admitted to playing the point game, which that's something a lot of people talk about, but nobody actually admits to doing it. I was very surprised. I loved it. He was very candid and very open. Like, yeah, we play the point game. You say you don't like it. You wouldn't do it, but does there come a time where you have to say, you know what, I'm starting 10th every week. It's not worth it. I could take and pull an Aaron or a big block or whatever and pull off that 1 week, give the old Bobby Allen, I got water in my motor excuse, I can't run tonight, and come back out the next week, and they claim miss 1 week, you're on the pull the rest of the year. And it would be easier to get 1 or 2 wins that way. Has that ever crossed into your mind? You know, it just ain't worth it?
It has. I mean, I'd love to do that, but it's not fair to myself. It's not fair to my team that puts all that work in all week long. I can't say that would ever make me a better driver. I mean, starting up front would be great. I've done it and I've lost.
The money would be nice.
I've done it and I've lost. You know what I mean?
Good
I've
point.
started in the back and lost, but you know, to know, you know, my guys are behind me 110%, and to see us come through the field sometimes and maybe be the fastest car, we'll never know. You know, passing cars, getting to the top 5, getting to the top 3. You know, that I think that's more of a win for us. When we win, it's going to be it's going to be great. But I think that I'd rather earn it. Do what I got to do each and every week. Get to that point.
Does there ever come a time where you're running, say, 17th, and you're just like, you know what, it ain't worth it? Or are you one of them guys, no matter what, you're pushing every lap?
My first year I did that, and I pulled in if I wasn't doing very well. But we were well underfunded, you know, and it kind of wasn't worth me to ride around 17th. I could never do that now. I got to be on till the last lap, and it, you know, sometimes that makes or breaks you. You know, I probably should pull in if I'm that bad, if I'm that terrible, but I won't ever do it anymore.
I know I in discussions I've had with you at the racetrack, we've talked about point funds or lack thereof when it comes to the 358s. Would that factor in at all? I mean, when you're not getting paid anything, if I'm correct, was it Lincoln that gave $1,000 to the point champion? Am I right on that?
So, yeah.
So, I mean, that's what you get for winning a race. I know Aaron's made the comment when we talked to him, you can play the point game once or twice throughout the year, and like he did, win 3 races. That's $3,000. Whereas you can do it the right way, or quote-unquote the right way, and never win a race, win the points title, which looks great, you know, on your autograph cards and on the websites, and but it only pays $1,000. I mean, is that something?
Well, I mean, you can cherry pick and win that kind of money. I'd sooner see them get away get away from the point fund. I mean, in reality, you really don't make too terribly much. I mean, it's kind of a joke if you think about it. You know what I mean? You know, they base their point fund off of these tire deals and everything they do into their point fund, but it's not really worth it to me. I'd rather have free will of what I could run or not run, and save that kind of money over the course of the year, and make my team better and have choices to make my setup a little bit better, and have that point fund at the end of the year. I mean, it is nice to have that kind of extra money, but it's kind of a slap in the face because you ran their track all year. It's not really worth it. I mean, in my opinion.
Right. The point
at least,
funds.
I mean, you know, at Trailway, they make you run four Hoosier tires the whole way around, and their point fund's supposed to be bigger. I haven't seen it yet, so I'm maybe next couple of years I will see that. But you know, at Lincoln they give you trophies. I mean, they make their deal a lot nicer, if you ask me. Not taking anything away from Trailway because, like I said, it is really great racing. But as far as point fund goes, that's not really. You know, I think if you polled, you know, 20 guys right now, all 20 would say get away with get away from the point fund. Pay us a little bit more each week if you can, or have us save a little bit of money on tires. Something to where we can make our teams a little bit better throughout the year. The week-to-week costs kill me. You know, because I know going to Lincoln Speedway, I have to put a new right rear tire on. If I want to be competitive that night, I have to do that.
Right. That's a nice segue, by the way, into our next topic, which is the tires. Williams Groove's made the announcement this week. 410s are going to Goodyear, but they're letting the 358 guys stay on Hoosiers. Now, I've heard arguments on both sides that that's a good thing for the 358s. It's a bad thing for the 358s because now they can't go and get a used tire from the 410 teams. They're going to be forced to buy new tires. Lincoln still has yet to announce what they're doing, but they have, I don't know if you've received one, but I've heard from other drivers that they've released or they've sent out a questionnaire form asking would they rather have American Racer, Goodyear, Hoosier, or an open tire roll. Trailways and Williams Grove are both 358 tracks. They're both Hoosier. Port Royal is Hoosier at this point, but the way I'm hearing it is they're waiting on Lincoln to make their final decision before they come out and decide whether or not they want to switch. What do you think?
I think it's terrible that the track promoters and owners have any foot in the door of what we should have to race. I think it's ridiculous, in my opinion, that we should have to run a certain tire just so that way, and maybe their pockets aren't getting a little fatter, but I believe that's what it is. I mean, they might give a little bit back, but as far as I'm concerned, I think that we should go back to the old days where we're racing tires we can, we choose and pick our setups off of the tires as something that's going to help us win. The tires are out of hand in price. The 358 guys, I don't know what 358 guys are getting used tires off of the 410 teams right now, but if they're running Williams Grove and Lincoln Speedway, I'm burning off tires in the feature. So I mean, I can hardly. I don't understand how they're getting tires off the 410 teams. I mean,
yeah, I didn't understand. I know back.
I mean,
in the day
that's kind of an excuse if you ask me. It's my personal opinion. Hopefully, nobody takes offense to that. But you got to have fresh tires out there, and we will occasionally get tires off of some of the outlaw teams, but they don't run them long. Maybe a heat race or time trials or whatnot. But I don't see any. If they're running. You might get a left rear here or there from a 410 team, but I don't see them getting too many tires that they've run in a feature.
Back before they mandated one tire a night, it might have worked out where you could
maybe a little bit better, but still we put new right rear tires on, and at the end of the feature, we've run top 5s, top 10s. We might sometimes we're running 20th and we have a decent tire on. Well, that's gone at the end of the night, and I think some of that is part of the tire rule, the spec tire that's supposed to, be enforced right now. My whole point, back in the day when they had a spec American Racer tire, you could run that 2-3 features and be good after that. Well, the new spec tires I think they're hard and they're making the track surface that bad. You can only run them one race, and then you got to pitch them. It's kind of getting to that point, and we're letting the tracks dictate that for us.